Today is July the 9th, 2021. This is Imani's Arrington-Bey, Mouse Margin, and I'll be continue reading from where I left off. It's not where I left off from my recording. Chapter 18 of the Holy Quran of Mecca, the cave, section 11. And they asked thee about Canaan. Say, I will recite to you an account of him. Surely we established him in the land and granted him means of access to everything. So he followed the course until when he reached the setting place of the sun, he found it going down into a black sea and found it by a people. We said, O Dul Qanan, either punish them or do them a benefit. He said, as for him who is unjust, we shall chastise him. Then he will return to his Lord, and he will chastise him with the exemplary chastisement. And as for him who believes and does good, for him is a good reward, and we shall speak to him an easy word of our command. Then he followed the course, until when he reached the land of the rising sun, he found it rising on the people to whom we had given no shelter from it. So it was, and we had full knowledge of what he had. Then he followed the course, until when he reached the place between the two mountains. He found on that side of them a people who could hardly understand a word. They said, O Dul el Canaan, Gog and Magog do mischief in the land. May we then pay thee tribute on condition that thou raise a barrier between us and them. He said, that wherein my Lord has established me is better. So if only you help me with the strength of men, I will make a fortified barrier between you and them. Bring me blocks of iron at length, and he had filled up the space between the two mountain sides. He said, blow, till, when he had made it as fire, he said, bring me molten brass to pour over it. So they were not able to scale it, nor they could make a hole in it. He said, this is a mercy from my Lord. But when the promise of my Lord comes to pass, he will crumble it, and the promise of my Lord is ever true. And on that day we shall let some of them surge against others, and a trumpet will be blown. Then we shall gather them all together, and we shall bring forth hell, exposed to view on that day before the disbelievers, whose eyes were under a cover for my reminder, and they could not bear to hear. Do those who disbelieve think that they can take my servants to be friends besides me? Sure, we have prepared hell as an entertainment for the disbelievers. Say, shall we inform you who are the greatest losers in respect of deeds? Those whose effort goes astray in this world's life, and they think that they are making good manufactures. Those are they who disbelieve in the messages of their Lord, and meeting with him, so their works are vain, nor shall we set up a balance for them on the day of resurrection. That is their reward, hell, because they disbelieve and held my messages and my messengers in mockery. As for those who believe and do good deeds, for them are gardens of paradise and entertainment, to abide therein. They will not desire removal therefrom. Say, if the sea were ink for the words of my Lord, and the sea would surely be exhausted, before the words of my Lord were exhausted, though we brought the like of it to add thereto. Say, I am only a mortal like you. It is revealed to me that your God is one God. So whoever hopes to meet his Lord, he should do good deeds, and join no one in the service of his Lord. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of chapter 19, Mary. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, Merciful, Sufficient, Guide, Blessed, Knowing, Truthful God, a mention of the mercy of thy Lord to his servant Zacharias, when he called upon his Lord, crying in secret. He said, My Lord, my bones are weakened, and my head flares with hoariness, and I have never been unsuccessful in my prayer to thee, my Lord, and I fear my kinsfolk after me, and my wife is barren. So grant me from thyself an heir, who should inherit me, and inherit of the children of Jacob, and make him, my Lord, acceptable to thee. O Zacharias, we give thee good news of a boy, whose name is John. We have not made before anyone his equal. He said, My Lord, how shall I have a son? And my wife is barren, and I have reached extreme old age. He said, So it will be. Thy Lord says, It is easy to me, and indeed I created thee before, when thou wast nothing. He said, My Lord, this thing is so flimsy. Okay, still recording. Alright, where was I? Make sure I didn't crack that. It didn't. Alright, we're good. Okay. Alright, he said, My Lord, how shall I have a son? And my wife is barren, and I have reached extreme old age. He said, So will be. Thy Lord says, It is easy to me, and indeed I created thee before, when thou wast nothing. He said, My Lord, give me a sign. He said, Thy sign is that thou speak not to people 3 nights, being in sound health. So he went forth to his people from the sanctuary, proclaimed to them, Glorify Allah morning and evening. O John, take hold of the book with strength. And we granted him wisdom with a child, and kind-heartedness from us in purity, and he was dutiful and kindly to his parents, and he was not insolent, disobedient. And peace on him the day he was born, and the day he died, and the day he is raised to life. And I'm going to stop right there for tonight. Let's mark it here. Chapter 19, Section 2. Mary and Jesus is where I'll pick up next time. Islam. Again, my name is Arrington-Bey, Hebrew Muslim Moorish descent. This is me reading the Holy Quran of Mecca. Islam.